So, lads, the talk about Nikola Jokic is wild. It's absolutely wild. And, like, now you have effectively got, you've got players out here, foreign players accusing Jokic of stat padding. Like, I'm fully convinced if you've ever watched Nikola Jokic play, you're like, this is the one guy. He's the only player that will take heaves. He's literally the only player in the NBA that will consistently shoot heaves. He's going to break the record for the most heaves in a season. He doesn't give a damn. He just plays ball. The guy just plays ball. He doesn't care about winning an MVP. He cares about winning games. He cares about winning a championship. He does not care about winning an MVP. He would rather have 0-0-0 in a win than 40 points in a loss. And there are very few players that, you can be sure of that for. Because we've seen Jokic at times where he's dropped 50 actually be annoyed. Not pretend annoyed, but like actually be annoyed. And now we've got a new, different type of Nikola Jokic slander. Nikola Jokic is just too good at basketball type slander from Lou Williams. Let's take a listen.
I love what he's doing, and these are some big time numbers, and it's leading to wins. You know, we can't step on that. He's doing everything that he can to put this team in a position, and these numbers are crazy. Like the stat line that I just saw. Here's my argument though, Chandler. Is he doing this out of necessity?
Yes. Literally. Jokic will do whatever it takes to win. If that is scoring 50, he'll score 50. If that is scoring 6 and having 25 assists, he'll have 6 and 25 assists. The Jokic system. When Jokic has the ball in his hands, good things happen. Why would you take the ball out of Jokic's hands? Good things happen when he has the ball in his hands. And he's not even heliocentric. That's the craziest part about it. Like, he literally, on a day, there was a day where he scored the most points, had the most rebounds, and had the most assists. No one has ever, literally, in the history of the NBA, no one has ever done that.
Does he have to put up these type of numbers for them to win? I think
no, because he wins. Like, he needs the ball in his hands, but the numbers don't tell the story. Like, you are literally making a box score argument. The box score obviously is in Jokic's favor, but that is not why Jokic is the best player.
I think that's the difference between he and SGA. SGA is doing this through the flow of the game, and they're winning basketball games. And
Jokic is literally doing it in the flow of the game. You tell me you have not watched Nikola Jokic. Do you still have some PTSD over what Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray did to your team in the bubble? Oh wait, maybe were you not? No, was he back? He may not have been suspended, but like genuinely, are you having some PTSD? Jokic is not doing it within the flow of the offense. You're just making shit up. You're literally just making stuff up. Tell me you don't watch games and you read box scores without telling me you don't watch games and read box scores.
Everybody else is still getting off around him and doing everything. That's going to be my only fight. Are these numbers absolutely necessary?
The numbers aren't everything. The numbers may not be necessary to win, but Jokic having the ball in his hands, Jokic touching the ball on every single offense and being the primary decision maker for the Denver Nuggets is necessary for them to win. There's a reason why Kentavious Caldwell-Pope looked great for the Nuggets and is really struggling in Orlando. There's a reason why Bruce Brown has been so bad since leaving the Nuggets that he's basically going to be bought out. Players that play with Jokic look 10 times better than they are. They get huge contracts based on how they look beside Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic nearly got a team whose second best player was Bogdan Bogdanovic, whose third best player wasn't even in the NBA, and whose fourth best player was Micic, who barely plays for the third worst team in the NBA in the Hornets. He almost got them to beat the damn Avengers. He got them a medal in the Olympics, and it would have been silver. It would have been silver had they not faced off against France. Had they faced France in the semi-final instead of the USA.
For them to be a competitive team. That's the only slight I would have for Jokic. Other than that, this is a great stamping for him to be in the MVP running once again.
But Lou, did you say that's a knock against Jokic because he has to do this?
He absolutely has.
But
to
how is that a knock?
I
feel like it's the opposite.
Well, you were a championship team at one point. Where's your help? We give Jamal Murray all of this.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean he's the most valuable to his team because SGA has more help?
And look where it's landed you 8 games behind the other guy that's just as valuable. So
he's got J-Dub. He's got J-Dub, Caruso, Lou Dort, who's allowed rugby tackle people and get away with it. Like, you've literally got, like, Jokic has revived Russell Westbrook's career. They've got Hartenstein. And by the way, why did I follow? I don't know who you are, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, sorry about the unfollow. Lou Willoughby, as you play with Kawhi, doesn't mean everyone is him. Kawhi doesn't care about his numbers. This dude will score 8 points in a blowout win. Distributing, I don't care about numbers and wins. Jokic needs to have these numbers unless the team loses. I don't know. Terrible take by Lou. Just say you want. Jokic shouldn't win the most valuable player because he's too valuable. That is basically it. Jokic shouldn't win the MVP because he's too valuable. They are probably going to be the second seed, by the way. Like, that's what people don't realize. They're probably going to be the second seed. And, like, I get it. Look, I get it. Maybe they're going to be a third seed. They lost today. Okay, fine. They lost today. Probably not the day to put it. They got blown out by the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Jokic, in fairness to him, only shot the ball 13 times and had 20, 11, and only 3 rebounds. Jesus, I did not watch this game. But again, if you want to say, oh, they lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves, man, the Thunder lost to half a Mavericks team. They literally lost to half a Mavs team. Who did well in the Timberwolves? Well, Julius Randle looked like he showed up. Anthony Edwards, in fairness, played well. And, like, in fairness, just like teams have certain teams' number, Dallas seemed to have OKC's number. Minnesota seemed to have Denver's number, in fairness. But that is still crazy. That is still absolutely crazy. Players have become the media they hated. Saul Common has said he has these stats because the Nuggets run their offense through him. That's the point, you idiot. People are like, oh, you know, he only has these stats because the offense runs through him. Of course, because if the offense doesn't run through Nikola Jokic, the team just doesn't score. Like, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. Like, Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets without Nikola Jokic, I'm going to say this, are one of the 5 worst teams in the NBA. The Thunder without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are a play-in team. I'm not going to say they're really that great. They're a play-in team. There is so much of a gap. And look, this is not the knock on Shai. Shai is unbelievable. And if Shai wins MVP, it's not going to be that much of a robbery. But Jokic, the reason you cannot basically, like, if you don't give it to Jokic and you're like, you know what, it's too close and Jokic has already won 3, I want to give one to Shai. I don't agree with it, but at least it's an argument. It's a better argument than Jokic is too valuable, which is basically the argument that he made. Either way, though, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The man's the best player in the world. The best player in the world by quite a lot. But anyway, I'll see you guys.